What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Nintendo Land. Now today we are once again covering the 3D Mario remasters. I have lots of big projects coming up, but unfortunately I'm having a lot of internet problems and lots of stuff moving into the new home, so it's going to be a little bit until I can get that stuff ready, so I have to keep it pretty simple and pretty basic right now. But today we are talking about extra game modes and features added to these games. Will there be any brand new content or extra things that are different from the original versions and that maybe add some more fun and replay value for these games? We're going to be talking about 64, Sunshine, both Galaxy games, and 3D World today, so make sure that you leave a like if you enjoyed today's video and subscribe if you guys are new to stay up to date on all things Nintendo. Also, if you have not yet, feel free to join the official Nintendo Land Discord where you too can chat with me and all of the other subscribers about all things Nintendo. First off, we have Super Mario 64. Now this one's pretty obvious. There was obviously a DS remake that came out, which is still hard to say, but it was a DS remake, and it had different characters and also some in-game content. First off, it had mini-games, and lots of people loved these mini-games, from the Luigi's card games to this little fun things that you could play with the stylus, and I don't know how you actually bring that back on Switch. Maybe just change the mini-games up a little bit or add some new ones, and that would be pretty cool. Maybe you could even play the mini-games online or co-op with people, local co-op or something like that. I think that'd be a lot of fun. But besides mini-games, they've actually added some in-game content that actually involved the story. Yes, you even went to your own separate boss battle with the King Goomba boss battle, and it kind of changed up the pacing of the game. Also with some extra levels that required you to collect 5 silver stars and collect those together to get your grand star, and then you can move on to the rest of the castle like normal. But they added some little bit of gameplay changes there and added some stars and added some cool unique features with the DS version, which I think would be really cool to be added in Switch version as well, obviously now all in Grand HD. Next up is my favorite game, Super Mario Sunshine. They could add a boss rush or maybe like a boss rush island. And speaking of island, there's lots of different islands that we don't know what they are yet, as we've seen in the very beginning intro of Super Mario Sunshine. You have one like a crab, one like a seashell, and so on, and you can have these other islands along with Al Delfino play into the gameplay. Maybe they're different islands that home different types of levels or brand new worlds, and maybe one of those boss rush islands are part of the islands, and maybe you can go there and fight all the bosses at once, which would be pretty daggone cool. You also have some things that didn't make the cut for the beta, such as the enemy Tramplin' Stew. Yes, it's kind of creepy, but it'd be really cool to see that in the final cut of the game. And then potentially we could get another nozzle attachment for Mario's Flood, or maybe some type of co-op character so you can play together. We have Mario Galaxy now, where you could use the Mario Galaxy 2 approach and add the green stars in each of the levels to find. This was a really cool way to revisit some of the galaxies and some of the levels in order to go back and look at every nook and cranny and find that green star. It was a lot of fun. You could also once again have a boss rush, which would be very similar to that of Mario Galaxy 2, which, considering the fact that Mario Galaxy 2's boss rush was based on all the bosses from the first game, but instead it would now include all the bosses, mini bosses, and big bosses alike for one big showdown. And for Mario Galaxy 2, you could have the ultimate boss rush, where it pits you against all the bosses from the first game and the second game. This could be kind of a Kirby True Arena type of situation, where the most hardcore of players get to jump in an arena and fight these bosses. Now yes, on one hand it would take probably around 2 hours to complete all those bosses, but on the other hand it is a fun challenge to get people really excited about playing this game. And if you really want to make it super exciting, go ahead and make it like the comment that gave you 1 life, where you have 1 life to defeat all these bosses, 1 hit and you're done. So that would be kind of crazy, but you know, why not have one super mega tough challenge to keep people trying to complete and have people talking about it? That could be kind of the talk online. But with that said, there's also tons of mini games from each game that could be thrown in as separate modes that you could just go in and play mini games, and maybe there's an online leaderboard. Some of the games, for instance, with Mario Galaxy 2, you have the Boulder Bowling mini game and you have the Chimp Skating missions, and you could just pretty much have different leaderboards like we have with Mario Odyssey. You can see who has the best score, who has the highest score, and maybe compete with your friends, and maybe even play them locally co-op, kind of like Mario Party mini games, but now you just have a collection of mini games from the Galaxy series. These would be really cool to play, but like I said, both locally and online. It would give the game a little bit more depth. And last but not least, we have Super Mario 3D World. Now, it's hard to say if they will add anything to this game because there's so much content jam-packed into this game. You have tons of collectibles to collect for each level, you have bonus worlds, and a boss rush with extra unlockable characters, which is kind of hard to really add any content to that. Just put it on the Switch and call it a day. but maybe you could put more Captain Toad levels. I understand that Captain Toad's now on the Switch with extra levels, and it pretty much has its own game. Like I said, there's really not much reason to add more Captain Toad levels in a Mario game, but I don't know. It's really hard to say what else they could add. The only other thing I could think of is extra characters, which, like I said, I'll talk to you about in a separate video, talking about all the additional characters they can put in this 3D Mario Remasters for each game, but they could have characters like Daisy, Wario, Waluigi, Yoshi, or even Donkey Kong to kind of spice things up and just change up the gameplay a little bit. These won't be Funky Kong characters that make the game easier, just extra characters that you can choose to have fun with. But besides that, 3D World's pretty much all ready to go. If you really want to add anything at all, I would suggest adding the 3D land levels, as I see lots of people would love to see those in high def on the Switch. I think that would be a lot of fun to play through those levels again, since it's been a while and since many people probably skipped out on the 3D Land 3DS game and probably just went straight to the Wii U title. So this would be also a cool way to bring out some content and have some replayable levels from 3D Land. And those are all the games and all the extra content that I think can be added in a Mario 35th Anniversary Collection. I cannot wait to see if this is real. Once again, we are now entering the month of August, still with no word of what's happening with Nintendo, and it is getting a little scary, but we can still hope and still get our fingers crossed for a potential 3D Mario remaster. What do you think about these additions down below? Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to see added to any of these games to make the gameplay even more in-depth than it is now, and just let me know in the comments down below if you think we'll still get a Mario 35th Anniversary 3D Collection, and when do you think we'll get it announced, and when will it drop? Thank you guys so much for tuning in today, and like always, I'll see you in the next one. See you guys.